Hello friends, and welcome back to my art studio. We are going to be doing something really fun together today. I have decided I'm going to try to share a bit of my process with you all. So I have a concept for a project that I've been very excited to do for quite a while, and it has a lot of significance for me. So I wanted to actually just share kind of the process of coming up with a concept and then working it through and getting it to come to life. All right, I'm gonna let you in on my concept. So this is sort of my idea. I want to create an accordion collage book installation where the collage books are, these accordion strips are hanging down and they're in an outdoor installation, and I want to make them all out of collage pieces of paintings from paints that I've made myself, maybe introducing my natural dyes in there somehow, and basically make portraits of nature that are then brought back to nature. So that's the concept, and we're gonna go through and see how things go. So this will be sort of seeing the journey, and yeah. So I'm excited. Let's get started. So first I'm going to actually get out a bunch of different various collage materials. I like to have a base of pieces I've kind of started collaging already. So pieces of past paintings that I've used my stone-made paints with. I've got the backs for all of them kind of planned out. I started thinking about doing some vintage books. Oh, look at these little guys. I need tons of glue. Now I'm going to start painting new elements onto some collages that I've either already started or have just started working on. I'm definitely using some handmade paper. I like to do sheets of just a solid color because then what I can do is cut up those pieces and then use them for my paintings. So I can use them for the collage elements. Let's get collaging, but super fast. I'm switching back between collaging cut pieces and adding more handmade paint details. The realities of collaging are that it's extremely messy. So I've decided to add a new element to this situation. I am going to be adding some of my natural dyed fabric to the collages. So that has added a whole new element of madness and excitement. All right, I am planning on sewing these lovely pieces to the handmade paper and then the starts of these collages. So I'm super excited about this. I really like it. I love the other texture that it ends up giving. I did a little zigzag in the beginning to kind of just see what the difference would be, but I really am into that. I am gonna do more. Okay, so I got very ambitious and I did a bunch of my mint dyeing on there, and it's got the hibiscus and all these collages, and I'm super pumped. And then I'm gonna make the second size. So I've got this size and I've got this size. And I'm thinking for this one, I wanna kind of like use these little string guys that I have and almost like string it up with these larger sizes. And I might have to do the back because if it like flips around, I have to think about that. I am going to take a break now because I'm extremely hungry, and it is important to actually pause when you're doing artistic projects, which is a very ironic advice. It's coming from me because I tend to be really bad about that. I think I'm going to do what I have prepped, so like 8 more. of that. So I've officially got some collage things happening. I've put a bunch of these together, and I think I'm gonna head outside and try it out and see what I can do. It took me a very long time to get to this point. I took a really long time to do all these little ties. So I'm working on that, but I'm really happy with how these are coming out. And I have enough that I think it is worthy of an experiment to go outside. So I'll take you out there with me. So I am searching for a good spot. I'm looking for a low hanging branch that's kind of like across, and then I can maybe tie them up, but I'm not really sure. This is where I realized that the wind was a factor and that I was way too short for any of the branches that I found. So yeah, that's it is very windy because I'm by the river, so I may have to try something else. This was my first installation attempt, which was against this lovely tree, but it didn't have the effect that I was really looking for, so I decided to go on a second installation attempt with Dan. And I thought maybe we could together kind of find like a bigger branch, and maybe the height advantage would be helpful. So we wandered around in our special spot at Honey Hollow, which is excitingly the origin of where all or most of the stones that make up the paints that I used for the collage paintings on the accordion books actually came from. So it just feels right for the final form of this project to be installed here. I jokingly asked if Dan wanted to use that tree, and he told me he wasn't tall enough. We decided that this spot would really be nice framing because you can see kind of like the bits of the other trees behind. And also we found a really large branch that we decided we could attach all the pieces to. The spot was really cool to set up. I worked for a while to tie things up to get the right tension and make sure that things were distributed well. But I did look for multiple spots because in the moment I didn't think that the photos came out that good, but they ended up actually being my favorite. Dan was really excited to help me with this project and held it up while I took some of these other final photos, which is super sweet of him. I was really excited to see how this concept of portraits of nature brought back to their home in nature has really ended up coming together. But I had an absolute great time, and it was really motivating for me and really fun to share this process with you all. I hope that you enjoyed coming along in this art making journey with me, and that it'll inspire you in your own creations. Happy making, and a shout out to Dan for always being so supportive in my creative pursuits. It is an experiment and a in-depth kind of sharing experience. That sounds really weird. I don't know how to start videos. It's really hard.